Diane Arbus was born in 1923 and died in 1971.
I remember just recently being absolutely amazed at the difference between rich people and poor people, because I think it tremendously influences their attitude toward money and toward a lot of other things.
Who are we is the basic question that Arbus asks over and over.
First of all, I was a very grubby kid and not very attractive, sort of dirty. And the family fortune always seemed to me humiliating. I mean, we lived on Park Avenue in the 90s and Center Park West in the 70s. The outside world was so far from us, so inimical, and not in the sense of that it was evil, but that it was simply, the doors were shut, that was all. And for so long I lived that way, as if there was a kind of contagion somewhere. You know, you get hints of the outside world, like for instance, elevator men become a peculiar clue to really what's going on.
Her brother, Howard Nemeroff, was one of the most erudite poets of the second half of the 20th century. She was perceived as a magazine photographer in the 50s and 60s. She photographs children's fashions for the Sunday Times magazine. She and her husband had a fashion photography business.
One of the things I felt I suffered from was that I never felt adversity. For instance, I never even knew I was Jewish because I grew up, in a very Jewish city, in a very Jewish community where my father was a rich Jew. I was confirmed in the sense of unreality, which I only could feel as a sense of unreality. I resolutely traveled downward on the ladder.
The book presents to us how she worked. Her subjects were ones that she actually knew, that even those people that you think she just met on this street and made one portrait of and then never saw again, she actually got to know, and that she met Eddie Carmel, the Jewish giant, years before the photograph that we know, and had photographed him in different situations. She kept elaborate lists of whole classes of individuals, not just eccentric types.
I just have never believed that photographs are very useful to anybody but me. I mean, my photographs. I suppose I think it'd be nice to keep them, because I do think I have some slight corner on something about the quality of things.
Why she took her life will probably forever remain a mystery. Diane Arbus says it really quite beautifully. She writes, her suicide seems neither inevitable nor spontaneous, neither perplexing nor intelligible. The photograph, as she says, is much less important or interesting than the experience. And I think it's a good lesson for us today in this world where we are surrounded by images, to remember that the depth of experience is what comes through in great art, and it's not just subject. I think there are things that nobody would see unless I photograph them.